Welcome class. Today let us understand what are chemical reactions and how the chemical reactions are converted into equations. Now first, to understand this concept, first let us understand what is an chemical. It's very important to understand what is an chemical. What is a chemical according to you guys? Any substance can be considered as chemical. Yes or no guys? Yes, any substance can be considered as an chemical. Any substance in an element. For example, let me say it as, let it be a normal, as simple as sugar, water, which are any substance which are considered chemical. Condition is given like TNC condition, it should be natural. Yes or no? Yes, it should be natural. Let it be sugar or water, let it be any sort of. Did you get it? Now let us understand what is chemical reaction. Now let me explain what is. Now we have chemicals. Let me consider any sort of chemical. Sugar plus water. What happens, sir? When I am adding sugar plus water, it gives me a solution, that is sugar solution. Yes or no? Yes. Sugar is sweet, and water is tasteless. Water is thin in nature. Yes or no? It's very thin. You can see cross by cross. It's transparent. Whereas this solution has different taste and we have different, it becomes thick. Yes or no? It becomes thick. When you mix sugar, you can observe that it becomes thick and the properties are changed. Now it can't be boiled. It can't be boiled easily. Can't be boiling. For example, water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. This can be boiled at 120 degrees centigrade. That means it can't be boiling at 100 degrees centigrade. It can't be boiling at as normal as 100 degrees centigrade. That means here we are able to observe that when we are mixing one chemical component with another chemical component, the resultant which we are getting has completely different. A taste has changed, his physical appearance has changed, his physical property has changed, almost everything has been changed. That is, let us understand what is now. Let me say what is a chemical reaction. Chemical reaction, when we mix, when two or more chemical substance mix together and give a different substance or element is called chemical reaction. Are you able to call chemical reaction when two or more chemical substance mix together and give a different element, chemical substance. Example, let me consider adding carbon. Sir, what is carbon? Wood. Carbon is nothing but wood. Now what is next thing? I am adding oxygen. How I am giving oxygen, sir? To burn in air. Now what I am getting? Sir, black soot. That is black color fumes. That is carbon dioxide. This was a gas present in air. I am burning wood, giving ignition. Now what I got? Some black color gas. Now what was this? Solid substance. This was gas. Now this has become a black color gas. The same way we can understand many things. Many examples can be given. Let me explain you one more example. Now I am holding a magnesium ribbon. Now I am burning a burner. Burner is nothing but in which a fire, a stove type element, and I am holding with a tongue. Now if I am holding a magnesium ribbon, a ribbon which is made of magnesium. When I am burning it, I am able to see that magnesium is falling. That is, an iron ribbon is coated with magnesium. When I am heating this both, I am getting magnesium separate. The color is been changing. The properties of magnesium are different. Everything is changing. Are you able to understand that? When I am explaining more than iron plus magnesium, let me take a very clear example of magnesium oxide, which is relevant to your textbook. Magnesium plus oxygen. Now I am getting magnesium. It has different properties and different ways of completely different. Are you able to understand it? Now, how can we understand that a chemical reaction has been taken place? We should have some understanding methodologies. Yes or no? Yeah. Now let me understand the following. By these following steps, we can understand that the chemical reaction has taken place. First, the change in state. So how? Let me give an example. The change in state. Let me give you a very simple example. Sir, I have an ice example. I am keeping water H2O. I am freezing it. Freeze. I am getting ice cube. Sir, this was liquid. This has become solid. That means a chemical reaction has been taken place inside the water, which converted H2O liquid into ice cubes. Did you get it? Now change in color. So let me understand what is the change in color. That is very important. One more thing to understand change in color. Change in color. How can we understand change in color? Change in color is nothing but, for example, I am adding an colored milk plus and some flavor, or our favorite Horlicks. Now what happens, sir? Will the milk is white? This is brown. Horlicks is brown. What we get? We get something which is creamy color. What can you observe that the color is changed? Here milk is white, Horlicks is brown, but we are getting a creamy color. Did we understand what is the change in color? Yes. Next, number 3. Let us understand. What is number 3? Evolution of gases. Let us understand what is evolution of gas. evolution of gas. Now let us understand this clearly. Sir, evolution of gas कैसे understand करेंगे? How will we understand? Let me consider the simple example I gave. I am considering carbon, wood, plus what I am doing? I am burning with the presence of oxygen. What will I get? CO2. Sir, this is gas. Gas is coming, a black color smoke. What we call smoke. Yes or no? I am burning wood in the presence of oxygen. What I am getting? Smoke. Are you able to see? Evolution of gas. What's the last thing? Change in temperature. Have you ever mixed Glucon-D? Guys, have you ever observed mixing Glucon-D? Anyone? Very good. 4. Change in temperature. Change in temp. Change in temperature. Have you ever mixed Glucon-D or usually something called this Tang or Glucon-D? Yes or no? If we mix this with water, if you touch, you feel that the water has become more cooler. The water temperature has dropped. Have you ever observed it? This is your assignment, a simple assignment, because everyone has this at home. Let me, and you will observe the results. A simple activity. Take a glass of water plus add Tang or Glucon-D. You will observe the decrease in temperature. Did you get it? What are the 4 main points we studied? Change in the taste, change in the state. Sir, what happens? Ice. Change in the state, what happens? Is ice. Now change in the color. Change in the color. What did we study about change in the color? Milk. When you are mixing milk. Evolution of gas, burning of wood. Change in the temperature. For example, mixing Glucon-D or Tang with water. There are many more examples, just I gave so that for the betterment understand. Did you get it? Yes! Welcome back class. Since we understood what is chemical reaction, now let us understand what is chemical equation. It is very important to know what is chemical equation. Now, chemical equation is nothing but, let me give a very simple example, sir. Let me give you a very simple example. Now, I gave simple example. What? Sugar plus water. I got solution. Yes or no? Yes, I got this solution. Now, writing this in the form of chemical equation or writing in the form of symbols, a symbolic representation, because in scientific world this name doesn't have any value. All we have values for is our symbols, which are already defined, which we have learnt in periodic classification. For example, for oxygen, what is the symbol, sir? Oxygen O. For carbon C. For hydrogen H. Similarly, for every element in chemical we have an representation. Similarly, for sugar we call it as C6 H12 O2 plus what is water? H2O. What do we get? C6 H14 O7. This is a sugar solution, okay, which called as malt. Which this is not included in your syllabus, but I am just teaching for an example. Now, what do here the example is given, magnesium plus oxygen. The things which we are adding both are called as reactants. For what are on the left hand side, reactant, what are, sir? This both react. Example, magnesium reacts plus oxygen reacts and we get magnesium oxide. What are on the left hand side are called as reactants. What are on the, by mixing this both, or what we get are called as product. Same like in numbers, 2 cross 3 we get as 6. This is called our product. When we multiply 2 with 3 we get 6. Similarly in chemistry, when we are adding two chemical compounds, for example, I am adding carbon with oxygen, I get CO2, right? These are called as reactant, which are written on the left hand side. LHS are called as reactants, which are written on the RHS are called as product. So in RHS we write product, in LHS we write reactants. When we add this both the reactants we get an product. Now let me explain magnesium oxide. Okay, when I am adding magnesium plus oxygen we get as magnesium oxide. Did you understand? Thus chemical equation is nothing but simple. Let me depict. Writing and symbolical representation. Writing symbolic representation of any reaction is called equation. Yes or no, sir? We write equations like this only, right? For example, what is mathematical equation? Writing anything in the form of standard representation. Similarly, in chemical equation, a standard representation is called as chemical equation, a standard representation. Let me give one more example and simple assignment. Now I will give you, let me consider like a simple thing, copper plus oxygen, I will get cupric oxide. Write the chemical equation for this. This isn't your small assignment. I have given the perfect name. You have to solve it. Did you get? Yes. Now in chemical equations there are two forms. One is balanced, one is unbalanced. Now what is balanced? Sir, it is confusing. What is balanced? What is unbalanced? Let not get confused. In chemical equation there are two types. One is unbalanced, one is balanced. Sir, what is unbalanced? What is balanced? Let me explain you in a very simpler format. Sir, what is unbalanced? Means when if the number of atoms in each element in the reactant is not equal to the element in the product, then it is equals to, then this equation is called unbalanced. So this is very complex. Sir, I am not able to get, it's really fine. let me explain you in a very simpler manner. Okay, now let me explain like this: Mg plus O2, and here my friend has missed O2, Mg O2 Mg, let 2, okay, MgO. सर यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है सर? लेट मी clearly say you. How many magnesium atoms we have here? How many oxygen atoms we have? 2. Here how many magnesium? 1. How many oxygen here? 1. Sir, here 1 plus 1 only 2 atoms. Here 1 plus 2 3 atoms. How is it possible? We are adding 3 atoms and we are getting only 2. Is this possible? No, this is not balanced. That I am adding 3 atoms, I should get 3 atoms. If I am adding 2, I should get 2 atoms. But I am adding here 3. But I am just getting 2. Sir, it's really not fair. So this is called our unbalanced equation. An equation in which the product side and the oxygen side is not same. I will give you one more example. Let us understand this more clearly. For example, C plus O2, I am getting carbon monoxide. This is what we get in carbon monoxide. When we burn, sir, have you ever seen people smoking cigarette? Yeah, the smell is not that good because of carbon monoxide. Cigarette releases carbon monoxide. Yes sir. Now let us count here again. Sir, how many numbers of elements we have here? 1 carbon, 2 oxygens. Here sir, in the product side, 1 carbon and 1 oxygen. It is balanced. Is it balanced? Here total we are getting 3 elements. Here total we are getting 2. Whether is it balanced? No, it's not balanced. 3 is not equals to 2. 3 is not equals to 2. Hence this sort of equations are called as unbalanced equation. We have understood what are unbalanced chemical equation. Now it's time to understand what are balanced chemical equation. Let me give you a simple example, sir. Let me give you a simple example of same magnesium plus O2, which gives me MgO, but here I am adding 2. Here how many we have? 2 magnesium and 2 oxygen. Here what we have? 2, because 2 into Mg, 2 Mg, and 2 into oxygen, 2 oxygen. How many we have here? 4 sir. Here also 4. Yeah, it's equal. 4 is equals to 4. Simple. The definition is as follows. Now let me explain. The balanced chemical equation is definition is as follows. If the number of elements in the reactant is equal to the number of atoms each present in the product side, then it is called as balanced chemical equation. We understood an example, sir. 2 Mg plus 2 O2. Here 2 MgO2, 2 magnesiums, 2 oxygens. Here 2 magnesium, 2 oxygen, 4, and here also 4. That means both in the LHS and the RHS the elements are equal. Here let us understand now for zinc. How many, sir? How many atoms for zinc? 2 zinc atoms, 2 hydrogen atoms, and 4 oxygen, 1 sulfur. Sir, here 2 zinc, 1 hydrogen, sulfur, sorry, then 4 oxygens, Are you able to see it? 4 oxygens and 2 hydrogen. Let us compare. Sir, 2 zinc. Let us compare here. Sir, 2 zinc, 2 zinc, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 4 oxygen, 4 oxygen. Once it's balanced. Are you able to see? Simple is if the number of atom in each element in the reactant is equals to the number of atom in the product. It should have equal number of elements in the product and in the product. But since we have both the type of equations, we have both the type of equations. One is balanced, where LHS is equals to RHS. One is unbalanced, he is a bad guy, where LHS is not equal to RHS. Sir, but this is not accepted. That is not accepted. Do you accept? For example, you are giving some person 3 rupees, he is returning you back 2 rupees. Do you agree? No. You say no, I don't agree, I don't take. Whereas some person is giving, you are giving 3 rupees and he is giving you back 3 rupees, you take? Yes, I am ready to take it. So this sort of equations are not accepted. Unbalanced equations are not accepted. So there is a process called as balancing equation. There is a process called as balancing equations, where in this process we convert an unbalanced to an balanced equation, unbalanced to an balanced equation. Like simple example, my friend is not, I have given him 3 rupees but he is giving me 2 rupees. What I do? I scold him, I warn him, then he gives me 3 on 3. This scolding and warning is a process, right? Making him fear that I will complain his parents. The same, this equation balancing, same, by applying this balancing equation method, you balance an equation. Now let us understand what is an chemical balancing. Chemical balancing, there are various steps, we will understand step by step. Did you get it till now? Yes sir. Balancing the equation. Now I have taken, it's a rough structure has been given. Now I will write down the exact equation. Fe2 Fe plus H2O gives rise to Fe3 plus H2. Before doing anything, let us count first. How many number of elements? 1 ferrous, sir, 2 oxygen and 1 hydrogen. Ferrous, hydrogen, oxygen. Here 3 ferrous, already it's unbalanced. No, it's an unbalanced equation. So to balance, there is a step-by-step process which is given in your NCERT book. We are gonna follow it as same. First, draw a box. It's very important to draw a box. He's saying get a box. Okay, sir, what sort of box he is expecting from us? Draw a box of all the elements: ferrous, hydrogen, oxygen. Okay, let me write it clearly, let us not cause any misunderstandings. Ferrous. Now let us draw a box. Write down all the elements. Let us draw a box. Are you able to see it? Have an opportunity. Did you get it? Now, how many we have in the product side? Let us write down. Now, let us write down here. How many elements we have in product side? And RHS, that is reactant. This is our product. This is our reactant. Product, reactant. Yes or no? RHS, LHS. Are you able to get? First step is writing down how many elements we have. Now, how many? 1 ferrous. Here 3 ferrous. Here hydrogen, 2 hydrogen. Here 2 hydrogen. Sir, it's already balanced. It's fine. 1 oxygen, single guy. Here 4 oxygen. Is it balanced? No, sir, it's not balanced. Neither this is balanced. This is balanced. Neither this is balanced. First step is done. Right, drawing this box. In this box, we write all the elements first. First is ferrous, second is hydrogen, third is oxygen. In the next step, let us understand. Find out the number of atoms in each element. Like how did we find, sir? The second step we did in the first step. Now what did we do? Find out the number of. Didn't we do this? Doing this here? Yes. Yes, let us understand. Yes, we have understood the second step. The same thing, 1 ferrous. What did we write? 1 ferrous, hydrogen, oxygen. How many elements we had? Same way how we drawed here. Yes, how many elements we had? In LHS, RHS, how many elements we had? Let us do 1. We had here 2. We had here 1. Here, see, it's given 3, 2, and 4. Did we understand? This is the second step. Ready. Now, the next step is start to balance having maximum number of atoms. Which has the maximum number of atoms in this equation, sir? Which has the maximum number of atoms in this our equation? Here, let us understand. This guy. Because 4 plus 1, 5. Let us balance him. In RHS we have 4 elements. Yes or no? In RHS we have 4 elements. So, we need 4 elements here also. Yes or no? Yes, we need 4 elements here also. So, how to multiply 1? How to make 1 as 4? 1 as 4. Simple. Let us make this O2, which is O. Example. Let me not take O2. It will again cause a confusion. Which is 1. Which is 1 in the LHS and which is 4 in RHS. How to make this 1 as 4? Just multiply by 4. Just multiply by 4. Now what will be the equation we are getting? Fe plus H2 plus H2O. We are multiplying 4. Now what we are getting? Fe3O4 plus H2. Did we balance? Step 1 is step 3 done. Step 3, this is step 3, isn't it done? Yeah, we are making This was 4. We just multiply and make it 4. Yes or no? Yes. For what is the next element we have? What is the next element we have? We have next is ferrous. Again, to make ferrous as, let us make now the after step 3 we have Fe plus 4H2O. We get Fe3O4 plus H2. Now how much we have? Here 3. Make it here also 3. So we get 3Fe plus 4H2O. Now Fe3 plus O4 plus H2. How many elements? 3. This is 4, 4, perfect. What is imbalanced here? This has become 8. Just add it here. Now let us understand. Sir, are you able to see? Now after balancing the equation, we have balanced it here. This is step 3 and this is step 4. After balancing, let us check the correctness of it. It's very important, right? What we have did is right or wrong. What did we do? Fe3 plus 4H2O, which gave rise to, what did we get, sir? Yeah, Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Now let us perform our work. 3 ferrous atoms, 4 oxygen atoms, 8 hydrogen atoms. Here 3 ferrous atoms, 4 oxygen atoms, okay, and 8 hydrogen atoms. Sir, is it right? Let us analyze. 3, 3, perfect. 4, 4, perfect. 8, 8, perfect. This gives a balanced equation. Initially, what did we had? See, we had this equation which is unbalanced. At last, what did we get? An equation which is balanced. A last step is missing. We have to understand. After balancing the equation, we have to rate which state it is. Which state it is. Either it's what are the 3 states present in chemistry? What are 3 states, guys? Solid, liquid, or gaseous. Liquid is also called as aqueous. Okay? Yeah. So let me 3 Fe plus 4H2O. This gives rise to Fe3O4 plus H square. Now Fe, it's iron, it's solid. S means solid. H2O, what is H2O? Aqua, liquid. Okay. Fe3O4, this is solid. Yes, again solid. This is what is just hydrogen. It's an gas. This is solid, aqueous, solid, gas. Did you understand? Yes. Yes. So let us understand the one more example for balancing an chemical equation. Number 2. Now I am giving hydrogen plus chlorine. What I get? Hydrochloride, hydrochloric acid, or hydrochloride we call. Hydrochloric acid or hydrochloride. Let me write it as H2 plus Cl2, which is giving HCl. Yes or no, sir? Okay. Let me just clear this point. HCl. Yeah, is it is balanced? Let us count that. Here 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine atom. Here 1 hydrogen, 1 chlorine atom. Sir, whether it's balanced? The total here is 4, the total here is 2. It's not equal. It's an unbalanced equation. Okay, now let's balance this. What is the step 1 we do? Let us balance. To step 1. What is the step 1 we do? First, we write down the table. We draw a table. Yes or no? We draw a table saying what are the elements we have. Yes or no? Now, first chlorine, Cl, then here hydrogen. The product side, that is RHS, the reactant side, sorry, product side, that is LHS. Let me write it clearly. It's not visible as possible. RHS and LHS. Now how many chlorines we have? Let us observe it. 2 chlorines, 2 hydrogen, 2, 2. But here we have 1, 1. What is the step 2? This is step 1 and step 2. What is step 3? What do we do? Step 3, we just use or multiply. We have to make this Cl, which is 2, and we have got here 1. We have to make it 2. Just multiply by 2. So what we get the equation? H2 plus Cl2, we get 2HCl. Now how many we have? Now let us count after this. H2 plus Cl2, we get 2HCl. Now how many atoms we have? 2 hydrogen atoms, 2 chlorine atoms. Here we have 2 hydrogen atoms, 2 chlorine atoms, 2 chlorine atoms. Total here 4, here it's balanced. Did you understand? Yes. Now in the next topic we are going to understand what are the types of chemical reaction. There are various types of chemical reactions. The types of chemical reactions. In that first we are gonna understand and 2 types chemical reaction, in which the first thing we are gonna understand is combination reaction. Sir, what is combination reaction? Let me consider I have element A and I have element B. When I am mixing both, I am getting some element as C element. Let simple, like I said, sugar plus water, I am getting solution. Yes or no? Combination reaction is nothing but when 2 or 1 element and 1 compound or 2 compound are combined together with single product. When 2 or more elements combine together, this is little bit complex. Let us give when 2 or more elements combine together. Let me give you a simple definition. When 2 or more element gives a single element is called combination. Let me give you some examples. Example 1. Let me give you some examples. Simple, as we started, a solid carbon, example wood, is burned in the presence of gaseous, that is oxygen. What do we get? It's CO2, that is again a black gas, smooth C. Carbon is a different element. Carbon is a different element. Oxygen is a different element. We are getting a combination of, that is carbon dioxide. Let us understand one more example. Example, we have 2H2 plus I am adding oxygen, O2, both are gases. We are getting 2H2O, which is a liquid. Yes or no? Are you able to see it here? This is one element, hydrogen. This is one element, oxygen. When I am getting both, I am getting water. This is an example of combination. See, when two elements, element A and element B, we are adding, we are getting some element called as AB. AB is a combination of both A and B. Like the example explained here, carbon, oxygen. I am getting both the combination of carbon and oxygen, that is carbon dioxide. For example, hydrogen, oxygen, I am getting the combination both H2O, that is water. Are you able to understand? Let us recap it. A combination is a reaction when two or more elements gives a single element. Two or more element gives a single element. Yes or no? Yes. Yeah, did you get it? Yes. Now let us understand the next type of reaction, that is combination. We have understood the combination reaction. Did we get it? Yes. Now decomposition reaction. What is decomposition reaction? It's clearly given. Let me give you an example here. Now it's a type of reaction which involves in breakdown of single reactant into simpler products. Let me consider I have 2H2O which is breaking into, what we are breaking into, 2H2 plus O2, means we are making a bigger element into smaller. Let me consider I have a bigger element. To modify it, I am breaking into smaller parts. Like small, very tiny parts. This is one part, this is one part, this is one part. Similarly, decomposition, it's nothing but it is a type of reaction which involves in breakdown of single reactant, a larger simple reactant into simple products. For example, H2O is a large component. We are dividing it into H, hydrogen and oxygen. Whereas, let me understand some more example. I have understand lime soda, CaCO3, calcium carbonate, which we call, or lime soda. Now this is breaked into CaO plus CO2. Did you understand this? This is solid structure. This is solid structure. This is gaseous. This is calcium carbonate into calcium carbide and carbon dioxide. Calcium carbonate, it's converted into calcium carbide, plus carbon dioxide. Did you get it? Yes. What is, let us revise. It is a type of reaction which involves in breakdown of heavier reactant into a simple products. Did you get it, the examples? Yes. Now decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction, it also similarly means the same. Let me give you one more example of a decomposition reaction. One more example of a decomposition reaction. Let me consider. I am giving a silver chloride AgCl2, which is China dish, which we usually use in our homes, or I will give you a more relevant example. This will get into Ag plus Cl2. Ag plus Cl2. Did you get it? Let us balance it to make it quite clear. Did you get it? Yes! Now, let me give you a simple example of one more example of decomposition reaction. Let me consider I have silver chloride. A silver chloride that is Ag plus Cl, which is giving rise to Ag plus Cl2. Let us balance it. Okay, Ag plus Cl2, which is nothing but an aluminum chloride is giving an silver and chloride, due to which we can observe that due to the lack of chloride, what happens is chlorine gas has been liberated. We feel the fade color of silver. Have you ever observed that silver ornaments it fades the color after use for some dyes, because when we expose to sunlight it loses chlorine which is coated on it. Due to loss of chlorine it becomes faded, the color becomes faded. Did you understand? Yes. Now let us understand the one more example of decomposition, that is electrolysis of water. Now simple here it is given that I have explained in X 2H2O, this gives rise to H2 plus O2. This is where how the oxygen is been produced nowadays. Did you get? Nowadays in corona crisis lots of oxygen is required. This decomposition process is required to create oxygen from water. We have water here, we electrolyze it, we pump it, we get oxygen and hydrogen. There is no much discussion about electrolysis in your syllabus, so I will restrict myself to the textbook. Thank you. Now let us again understand the one more type of reaction, that is displacement reaction. What is displacement reaction? Sir, are you able to see some depictions here? That is element A is with B, element C is coming, he is joining with him and making D. Simple. Are you able to see? And it is a reaction in which more reactive element will replace the less reactive element. Are you clear? It is a reaction in which more reactive element displaces the less reactive. Let me give an example. There are two friends, very good, two buddies. Let me consider we are two friends. One bad guy comes who is very notorious. What he does? He will join with my bestie. And make me alone. Right? This both will become a group. I will become alone. Are you able to see this? Yeah, the same way chemical displacement take place. This guy, the notorious guy, he comes and replaces this decent boy the same way. Let me give you some examples in chemical. Like, let me consider, I am giving an example of here. I have an iron nail. I am dipping this iron nail in copper sulfate. So what I have an iron nail. I am dipping it in a copper sulfate solution. So what is happening to me? This notorious guy, sulfate, is replacing this with him. Ferrous sulfate is forming. Ferrous sulfate is forming, whereas Cu is left alone. Cu is left alone. What happens? This is iron nail of copper, iron. After the reaction, you get a copper nail from the copper nail, because all the copper gets deposited on this blue color solution, which was copper sulfate. It becomes a colorless ferrous sulfate. Copper sulfate will become ferrous sulfate. Ferrous will become copper. Are you able to see here? A ferrous is becoming copper, is replacing copper. That is, this iron rod is replacing the copper. Did you understand what is the displacement reaction? Let me highlight you once more. Where a high reactive, one reactive element, let me consider now as zinc. Zinc is coming, copper sulfate. Now what happens? It becomes zinc sulfate and leaves the copper alone. Are you able to see? That is, zinc is replaced. That is, there is an replacement. Are you see? Yeah. Zinc replaced copper. This depiction will be little bit not accurate, so I will give replaced. Did you understand now? Zinc replaced copper. Now let us understand one more type of reaction, that is double displacement. Here let us consider element AB plus CD. What happens here is AC will join and BD will join. That is, one element will replace an other. In double displacement reaction are those reactions with two compounds interchange their ion to form a new compound. For example, I had NaSO4, that is sodium sulfate, and I had barium chloride, BaCl2. What happened? They just exchange their places. BaSO4 plus NaCl. What happened? This guy joined this guy and this guy joined this guy. Are you able to see? Observe it. You can able to understand it clearly. One guy left its position and joined other guy. For example, where element A, B are together, C and D are together, which break a bond. A will be joined C. For example, here we are able to observe that sodium joins chloride and barium joins sulfate. A double displacement reaction. Let me here give you with an. For example, I have an sodium sulfate solution. I am adding barium chloride solution, which will give me an barium sulfate PPT. PPT is nothing but a solid type structure plus NaCl, sodium chloride. Are you able to get it? Yes, this is perfect. What are the four types of reaction we have studied? So let us revise types of reaction. types of reaction. First, combination. Sir, what is combination? Here two or more forms to give a single element. Then comes, who comes? Decomposition. Decomposition, where two elements A and B will give rise to two simpler elements A, B. Then who comes? Displacement reaction. Displacement, where A and B are together, C comes and replaces. Okay. Now what is the fourth type of reaction? Double displacement. Displacement, where A and B are together, C and D are together, which gives rise to AC plus DB. Are you able to understand what are the four types of reaction? Combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement. Did you get it? Yes. Now, welcome back guys. Let us understand the concept of oxidation and reduction. Oxidation and reduction. Now what is oxidation? First, what is oxidation? Those reactions which involves in addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. There are 2 points can be called as oxidation. Ether, I am adding, add oxygen. Or what is the second condition? Remove hydrogen. Remove hydrogen. This both can be called as this condition. Ether, any one of the condition is satisfied. Add oxygen, condition 1, or remove hydrogen. If any one of the condition is satisfied, we call it as an oxidation reaction. Let me give you a simple example. 2Cu plus O2 gives you cupric oxide, that is copper. When burnt in the presence of oxygen, we get cupric oxide. Did you get what is happening here? What is happening in this reaction? We are adding an oxygen. What is happening? We are adding an oxygen. Even this is called as oxidation. Or let me give you a second example of second condition. Second example of a second condition, where I am getting hydrogen sulfide plus I2. What I am getting? Hydrogen iodide. You think hydrogen iodide plus sulfur. What's happening, sir? Are you able to understand anything? Yes. From this element, hydrogen is removed. From this element, hydrogen is from hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen is removed. From hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen is removed, and it's just becoming sulfur. It's removal of, example of removal of hydrogen. What we have studied here, this is addition of oxygen. It can be ether, one of them. It can be ether, removal of oxygen, or removal of hydrogen, or addition of oxygen. This is called as oxidation. Now let us understand what is reduction. What is now reduction? Sir, reduction में क्या है? First here, it's opposite. Removal of oxygen और addition of hydrogen. यहाँ पर opposite होता है. Removal of oxygen, or condition 2, addition of hydrogen, any one, removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen. Let me give you an example. CuO plus H2 हीट करेंगे तो we get copper plus H2O. What's happening? We are removing oxygen. Removal of oxygen. Removal of oxygen is called as reduction. Reduce करना, removal. Let us consider simple in the form of, let us remember for oxygen. Oxidation. Addition of oxygen. Reduction. Removal of oxygen. In your syllabus it's related to oxygen only. See, the shortcut is oxygen, addition of oxygen, reduction, removal, oxidation, addition of oxygen, reduction, removal of oxygen. Are you able to understand? Now there is one more thing to understand. Redox reaction. Sir, what are redox reactions? Sir, redox reaction is a reaction in which oxidation plus reduction both take place. Like last example I explained, like यहाँ पर दोनों होता है, तो both the things are happening. देखिए, let us understand here. See, if I consider the above given example, one oxidation is happening and one more reduction is happening. See, here it's reduction happening, that is removal of oxygen. Here what is happening? Addition of oxygen. Removal of oxygen, addition of oxygen. Removal, oxygen. Here addition, oxygen. This sort of reaction जहाँ पर दोनों होता है, removal of oxygen plus addition of oxygen, is called as redox reaction. Now what are redox reaction? Redox reaction is a type of reaction in which both oxidation, let me clear it to avoid the confusions. Both oxidation and reduction takes place. Sir, for science you don't have to take down the notes, you will be provided a very quality material. You will be provided with quality material, a perfect notes which is equivalent to your textbook. From our side, you don't have to write down any notes, and these videos are just for your understanding purposes. Okay, whereas if you don't take, you can take some running notes just for example, like I gave the shortcut here, oxidation. This type of shortcuts can be written, whereas you don't have to write down the full notes, because we are surely providing you the complete structured notes. Did you get it, guys? Yes! Now the last two concepts of this chapter is nothing but we will go and understand, that is corrosion, or in simple words we call it as rusting. Not resting, it's rusting. Some what is rusting? Rusting is nothing but a spoilage of metal, spoilage of any metal, spoiling or deteriorate. It can be also called a deteriorate. Deteriorate का मतलब होता है spoiling, खराब होना. Yes, deteriorating because of in presence of oxygen, or due to oxidation. सर ये कैसे होता है? Let me explain you very clearly. Let me consider I am keeping an iron rod in water, air for some 3 to 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. We can see that a brownish layer is being forming here. Okay, this means the quality of metal, the quality of the metal is going down. Metal is going down because of oxidation. Oxidation is going down, is spoiling due to oxidation. When we are keeping an iron rust or something, when water falls or in the moist, in the air, we have presence of oxygen. This ferrous reacts with this iron, reacts with oxygen, gives rise to ferric oxide, Fe2O3. This is ferric oxide. This is called as your rust. This formation of this brown layer which you are able to observe here, this brown layer, a brownish structure or a brown layer here, this is called as your ferric oxide or rust, where the quality of material goes down, quality of metal deterioration. This the process in which the quality of metal deteriorates due to the formation of ferric oxide. When the ferrous reacts with oxygen, it gives rise to ferric oxide. That is nothing but a rust. Did you get it? Yes. Thank you. Now the last concept, that is, let us understand the rancidity or rancidity. What is rancidity? Sir, it's not acidity which we hear because of gas. This is rancidity. What is rancidity? Rancidity is simply nothing but when the fats, or let us you have seen some food is spoiled here. Again here also you are able to see some food. Why I have given depicted these examples or formation of food, the food spoiled. Are you able to see? Usually, sir, our food contains, what does our food contains? Fats plus carbohydrates, protein, etc. The many things our food consists of, right? Yeah. When the food spoils, you get a foul smell. In spoiled food. Yes or no? Yes, we get a spoiled food, we get a foul smell, because when these fats, this C6, when these fats, let me not go with the equation because it's a complex that belongs to your class 12. Okay, when this fat react with oxygen, it becomes it becomes rancid. Rancid food, they become rancid. Smell changes because the fat get decomposed. The quality deteriorates, same like a metal. The food quality reduces or deteriorate. Yes or no? Spoilage of food is nothing but quality of food is becoming. When fat present in our food reacts with an oxygen, let me consider I have a food there, grains kept, I am exposing to the air particle O2. After 3 to 4 days, 3 days, I get foul smell. Yes or no? Yes, I get a very foul smell. That is due to a very foul smell because this convert into a fatty acid which is a rancid, or it converts into rancid food. Okay, did you get it? For some more doubts, questions, please do attend our live sessions. And a very quality made notes will be provided. You don't have to take quality notes. Made notes will be provided. You don't have to write any notes while listening the lectures. Just study. Thank you. This is end of your chapter.